I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about I doubt they'll come back.
Right. Many people feel that way and say that to us.
Yeah. You know, it's normal to doubt that you're going to have another chance with your ex. In fact, I think probably the overwhelming majority of you feel like that. Right. Because there's so many reasons. You know, a lot of times you're shocked by the breakup. You're surprised that it happened.
I was going to say, yeah, you're in a state of shock and therefore panic.
And your ex just becomes such a different person right before your eyes that you're like, well, they're never going to change their mind. They're saying they're never going to change their mind. I'm doing all these things. It's not changing their mind. They're not coming back, you know? So I think it's really normal to just be overwhelmed with doubt.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a lot of times a breakup is hopeless for an extended length of time. And what I mean by that is there are often very long periods of time where there's nothing you could say or do to your ex to change their mind in that moment. Don't believe me? Leave comments and you'll see. Handwritten letter, the good reminder text. I waited 30 days.
What's the good reminder text?
Oh, that's another nonsensical strategy somebody tries to tell people, that you send a text message to somebody out of nowhere saying like, oh, I'm at the movie theater where we saw Titanic together. Do you remember how great that night was?
Oh, Lord. That's kind of a dirty trick.
It doesn't work though.
I'm pulling at your heartstrings as best I can.
Oh, yeah. I just came across the picture of us at the ocean. Remember when we went to California together? You know,
what do we call that again?
The good reminder text. Yeah.
It doesn't work. No.
I hear it probably maybe a couple times a week. People try it. It just doesn't work. If it worked, we'd tell you to do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, so you do all these things and it makes your ex angry at you and then they don't want to talk to you. And so there are often long periods of time where it doesn't look they're going to change their mind. But they were attached to you. They, in most of your situations, fell in love with you. Mm-hmm. So that bond is not easily broken. Their behavior may change quickly and to keep their walls up and their guard up, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay like that forever. No. That's why it's really important to fix your behavior immediately. Leave them alone. Work on yourself. Work on becoming a better partner. You got to figure out what went wrong. That's why Margaret and I are here. A lot of times we're navigating your breakups and we're seeing a lot of things. You're like, I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't see it like that.
Sure.
That's what we're here for. So, you know, it's a real challenge. And when you're overwhelmed with anxiety and you're talking to your friends and family and they're like, they're never coming back. Don't bother them again.
Just move on.
Just move on. It just gets so scary. And so, of course, you're going to doubt that they'll come back. Okay? But, you know, if you really do work and you wait for that opportunity, there's a good chance you can show off this new, more attractive version of yourself where your behavior is a lot more attractive and you're minimizing mistakes, right? So I got a quick email here that I wanted to get to. This is somebody that I did a Skype coaching with recently who was very, very avoidant. And he didn't know it.
Of course.
He didn't know he was avoidant. He didn't understand it at all. And now he's kind of blown away by all the info on the channel. He said, "Hi Craig, I wanted to thank you for the Skype coaching on Friday. It was great to hear from a professional. I, like most of your listeners, don't think my ex will reach out. It's been 5 months, and she is now posting wedding ideas. Your insight did point out that I am an extreme avoidant, which made me feel worse since I now think I had more to do with losing her. Now, here's something really important. In my call with him, I made it very clear that his partner, his ex, had a lot of extreme anxious behaviors.
But before we move on to that, I just want to give him credit for being willing to look at his own part of it. Good for you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing the workbooks. Actually, I'm going to get to that in a minute. But his ex would invite herself over to his place. She would drive by his place. She would show up at his place unannounced several times, very stalkerish. And I pointed out all of these behaviors and how it was almost the exact opposite end of the spectrum.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So he was at extreme, she was equally anxious, right?
Yeah.
And so don't beat yourself up, because I made it clear to you that she made a lot of mistakes. She did a lot of things that was even causing you to become more avoidant. That a lot of her behavior had you getting more avoidant. And yet you seem to be focused on only what you did wrong. And Margaret has a great theory as to why.
Right. It's never easy to admit we're wrong, but somehow it's more difficult to admit that we were helpless. And lots of times people take an odd sort of comfort from beating themselves up because it's still somehow in their control. Mm-hmm. And there's always the if-onlys and the coulda, wouldas, and there are all kinds of problems. I could have done that differently. I should have done that differently. Was it the time I said this? Was it the time I said that? And it puts it somehow a little bit more under your control. The fact remains, it is not your fault you're avoidant. It is not her fault that she's anxious. But how you both handle it is what's going to make the difference.
That's right.
And if you're in a helpless situation, then you are, and we can't change that. But
you need to switch from trying to feel control by blaming yourself into who you want to be because of this. And that's what he does here. Let me go on with the email. He says, I have been working on your workbooks, and they are legit. I didn't think they would be that powerful. They do create knowledge. I would like to do another coaching, which I will plan on after more time with the workbooks. Since I'm sure my ex will not reach out, my coaching will be based on future relationships and my avoidant attachment style. I would love to do a success story with her if that does change. Thanks again. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And you know, you are going to use this as an opportunity to change your life. You already have. It's already incredible how much insight he had.
He's done an enormous amount of growing in a very short period of time.
Now, you're certain that your ex won't reach out because she's looking at wedding plans with this new person? Well, it probably won't last. Chances are she'll be so extremely anxious in that relationship that will blow up.
And is she doing it for your benefit? Does she want you to read it?
Yeah, it could be that she's posting it to make him upset and jealous. Let her do her thing right now. Focus on who you want to become. Continue to do the workbooks every day, 20 to 30 minutes. It's really helpful. Review your answers from the day before.
Yep.
We'll do the coaching again when you're ready. And actually, I think you in particular really need to do a coaching with Margaret. Because to become as extremely avoidant as you've become...
Oh, heavens, right.
Margaret will do a really good job of exploring your family history, and when you can work through that, you can become more insightful.
Yes, as you begin to heal a little bit from that, because if you're that avoidant, as Craig points out, what happened to you was severe. I'll be more than happy to talk with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Margaret is excellent at looking at a family history and helping you sort through why you are the way you are. I highly encourage you guys to do a coaching with her if you can. She's just incredible. I mean, 35 years at least now?
At least. I kind of gave up counting. Yeah. Yeah. A long time. It's not divine inspiration, it's experience.
But it's very normal to feel like your ex will never reach out because of the way they are acting in the current moment. But feelings do change. If you stalk them, if you harass them at work, if you harass their friends and family, you are going to make it less likely to happen. So you got to stop those behaviors, right? I had somebody this week, or maybe just yesterday, the day before, that was stalking their ex repeatedly. House, work, family.
You can't do that.
You cannot do that. You've got to stop that. And for those of you that are driving past your ex's house, and many of you are, you're going to make your chances a lot less likely of having a success story with an ex when you get caught. And believe me, there are a lot of ways to get caught other than your ex. You can have friends, family, neighbors see you driving past their work, their house, whatever. It happens. You'd be surprised, but it happens a lot.
And you're thinking that if you get a glimpse of that person, it'll make your anxiety better for a little while.
Yeah. Well, you're going to feel a lot worse when they spot you.
Yes. Yeah.
So keep that in mind, guys. It's very important that you cut out those extremely toxic behaviors, stalking like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully this will get you motivated to see that even extremely avoidant people can change, and they are doing it, right?
Oh, we see it all the time. Avoidant people absolutely can change if they're willing to look at it.
Yes.
And it takes some risks because it means trying to trust other people again. And if you've been hurt, that's not easy.
No, it isn't.
And you need a partner who's going to understand that.
That's right. If you want our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching. I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel like I can be helpful to you, please call me.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.